Hey everyone, how are you? I hope that everything is well. We are what we are. This is what we have. It is what it is. All of that pretty much sounds the same, and that's pretty much what Gerard Piqué said today. It's quite a steep fall that this Barcelona side has had. And what's very telling about it is that many of those, some that I know that have been on television and were speaking in Catalan at one point. I'll leave that for another time. They're now very quiet. No longer do they show their colors. It's pretty sad because a lot of these criticisms, a lot of the things that have emerged, a lot of the critiques that are being, and the analysis overall of this Barcelona team is usually what was given in the month of May. The loss at the Olímpico to Roma, when they lost to Liverpool, when they lost to Juventus, when they lost to PSG, those types of matches, the 8-2 against Bayern, of course that was later on, but you kind of get the drift. And of course that was a different thing, and that was because of the pandemic. But as I said before, it's a different thing, but you kind of get the drift of what I'm saying. Something more towards the tail end of a season. What criticisms Barcelona were getting in the month of May, they're getting now in the month of September. For many, this 3-0 is starting to become something very reminiscent of past failures in the Champions League and how distant they seem to be. Now they're not just one level, one peg down. They're about 3 or 4 now. They might be alongside teams like Young Boys, who happen to win against Manchester United. It's just crazy to see how steep a fall Barcelona have had. Yes, I am basing it on one match, but this one match showed so much, so many deficiencies that there are with the players that happen to be there. And it's just not only that, it's the options that come off the bench that come on, and no one's very impressed at all. It's not like they have one player that is just so good that they come off the bench and set, the fear of God into the opposition. They don't. None of them. It is what it is. This is what there is. That's it. There's nothing else. And that's what makes things all the more worrisome now, is it's going to be a long season a very long season for Barcelona fans, because nobody's out there. There's no one there that they can look to. There's not one player that in the dressing room they can turn to and say, okay, this guy's going to get us through. That player's no longer there. And to be honest with you, that player for a while wasn't able to do on many occasions what many expected him to do. He's somewhere else looking to slowly integrate himself to maybe one of the contenders for the Champions League. What was being said in May is now being said in September. That's preoccupying. It just shows you that this was the litmus test for them. Now, could they improve? Absolutely, they could improve. Could they do better? Yeah, they could. They might be able to get better as time goes on, but how much better? How much better can they get? Will they contend? Can they be a team to look at in terms of the domestic league? Yeah. But I think Real Madrid's better. I think Atletico's better. I might even go as far as saying that Sevilla's probably better. That might be a stretch, but maybe not that big a stretch. Bayern toyed with Barcelona. They just toyed with them. And when they started making substitutions, you'd start to see who comes on, and it was just a nonstop wave of attackers. Barcelona, God bless them, that they had more by necessity than by conviction, the desire to bring in players that are young, that are courageous, that are looking to get an opportunity, that are hungry to be able to prove Ronald Koeman. That's it. This team is dropped drastically, and it'll be disappointing to see them. It's already a disappointing season, probably. I might be getting ahead of myself, yeah. But in terms of what they've been able to show, it's very, very preoccupying. Again, will they win more than they lose? Absolutely, they'll win more than they'll lose. But that's not enough. Again, that's not enough. That's not what teams like this one are measured to do. Nobody says, "Well, Real Madrid's going to win games." Well, of course, yeah. But that's what this team needs to understand, that the measuring stick is so high that when you start bringing it down to kind of grade on a curve, that's what ends up making things that much more complicated. I mean, Gerard Piqué, to be honest with you, ladies and gentlemen, sounded like Dennis Green at one point. For those of you who aren't familiar, Dennis Green was an American football coach, and maybe 15 years ago, came out and said they were who we thought they were. And it was something so similar as you hear Piqué saying, "This is what we have. It is what it is. We are who we are." And that's what ends up making things so much more preoccupying when it comes to Barcelona. And Barcelona fans, I'm sure they're not happy, because it was 3-0, but damn, it could have been so much more. And that, ladies and gentlemen, that's where the problem is. It's not about losing or winning. It's about losing or winning the way that Barcelona lost today. It wasn't 8-2, nor was it going to be. But it was just pretty much like when you play with your kid brother and you kind of toy around with him, like that. That's how Bayern were today against Barcelona. And once again, the Catalan Giants don't seem to be that anymore. They're far from Giants. They're not even sleeping anymore, because no longer can you call them Giants. And it'll be a long, long road back for them.